we go. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Yo. It's another gracious, another awesome Sunday, awesome show we have for you today. So we thank y'all for tuning in to the show. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be an awesome one. And this is the 114th show episode.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. And this is the In Your Face show. And I'm here with my lovely guest, my she wrote,
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Humble heart, humble heart.
Miss Sandra A. Smith.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on this amazing
Oh,
inspirational show. I am humbly grateful, my brother. Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So, how's your day going? How's everything going with you?
Well, it's going great because I'm here with you, so that make it even better because I know how you get down with your show. So I'm blessed to be a part of this platform that God has allowed you to, bring before the people and build it up. So, tilt my hat to you, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank
But
you.
thus far, it's been such an amazing Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
So I thank God for the beginning of the week because it's going to be a blessed week, my brother. And you kicking
Yes,
it off
ma'am.
right now.
Oh, you damn, you damn right. You damn right. We're gonna get
Yes.
it going. We're gonna get it going. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So,
Yes.
you know, I would like to ask you some questions just to, get the mood set, the mood going, the mood going. You know what I
Right
mean?
on. Right on.
Right on. So, just the generic questions. I mean,
Say generic.
generic questions. We ain't gonna go too deep. I mean.
Go deep in me, baby. Hey, the spirit is deep in me.
You damn right. Yeah. What inspired you to pursue a career in acting?
Oh, wow. This is something I wanted to do since I can remember. Since I was 5 years old, I wanted to get into this industry. But what really inspired me is when I first seen Janet Jackson on Good Times. That was my first
Okay.
time seeing like African American kids on TV sitcoms. So I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be like her. I want to be on TV. It was already in me, growing up to want to be on TV because I just love acting. I love just being, entertaining to others. Because when I was growing up, my Aunt Joyce, because she the one tricked me to Cali, but that's a different story. And I know we're going to get to that one. But anyway, her and her friends used to give me 25 cents to dance for them. When you're a kid, that's a lot of money, right? So
Uh-huh.
ever since then, I knew I wanted to entertain people. Your aunt paying you 25 cents to entertain her and her friends, like, oh, my niece can dance. She can dance. Here's 25 cent dance for us. And I just go and break out, do my thing. Because she used to teach me the moves back in the day. So
Uh,
I always wanted to entertain people. And from there, seeing Janet Jackson, it was like, that's me.
oh. Hey, and you got it down pack, mama. You got it down
Yes,
pack. Damn right.
yes.
So, what was your most proudest accomplishment in acting?
Oh God, wow. In acting, I would say doing this play, Fences, with award-winning playwright Lisa Smith Bryant. She pulled out everything out of me. I even had an anxiety attack because I never did a play before. And with
Hmm.
this play, Fences, which by August Wilson and Denzel Washington and Viola Davis, they did the movie and they did the play as well. So I mean, it's a very intense play and it's different levels of acting you have to go through because you have these different emotions you had to really get a grasp and there's a lot of lines, so I had to go through all these channel all these different emotions, you know what I'm saying? So it was a challenge for me, and it was my first time of course doing a play, but I prayed my way through it. Oh my God, I had to pray my way through it. And when I had the anxiety attack, Sister Lisa is a minister, right? So she prayed with me, and she said, "You got this." She said, "The enemy is just trying to stop you, because he know you about to bring it." So after she prayed, and all the tears was, the makeup ran with the tears. So I dried my eyes. We prayed. And I tell you, my brother, I went out there and I brought it. I had to get
Mm.
that, anxiety off, because the enemy was, when God got great things for the enemy, try to stop you, he try to
Yeah.
put monkey wrenches in the program.
Mm. Right, right.
But that was, for me, that was my greatest accomplishment in acting, because I've done acting in, movies before, and my project, my movies, and other projects. But fences, like I said, it was just different levels of emotions I had to bring, and I never went to those different levels. So it taught me a lot. It helped me to really, channel all that, energy and emotions, and I had to really, get into it. So I would say that one was more challenging, and my most, experience in acting was that one. Yes.
Mm. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You know, that is because out of all the actors and actresses that I've had on the show,
Yes.
to be honest, you're the most emotional out of them all. Like the most emotionally grabbing, one that
Maybe it's that
express.
cancer it's that cancer energy.
Yeah, that's exactly what my mom is. So yeah, exactly, I get that all the time. I deal with that all the time. But it's a very y'all are very expressive, and you can see it in your actions. You can see it in your movement.
Yeah.
And when you're acting, I could tell it like you take it to the next level, and they can see it in your face.
Thank you.
And
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, and I could yes, I
It's
could
like you're
tell it.
reading me. It's like you're reading.
hmm I can trust me. I got that gift. Yo, yeah, yo, yeah,
Yes. You own it though. You're on it, my brother. You're on it.
yeah. It's just like acting is just like it's just like basically football and all those stuff. You have to get in the mold. You have to get in that mentality of
Yes.
you
Yes.
know transform into that beast and get
Right.
into that mold when you're on the field. When you're on the field, you're a different person. You're a beast. You're a monster. But
Yeah.
when you're off the field, you're a total different person. You
Exactly.
know, and that's what it happens with acting. Acting it's a mood thing. It's a you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. The
Yes.
type of mood you have to be. You have to, even if you're sad, you have to do
Mhm.
scenes where, if you have to do a scene where you're happy, you have to do that scene. You have to get out that sad mood
Yeah.
to do that
All those different
scene.
emotions. Yeah.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right. And I noticed that, and not a knock at the people that I've interviewed, but I could tell that you're the most expressive. I could feel it in your aura and your movement. You know what I'm saying? I could just feel it. But yeah, I exactly would know what you're talking about. Exactly.
That's that
So
spiritual intuition you have.
of
Discernment,
course,
like they say, discernment.
you damn right. you
You can
know,
read people.
easily.
Easily. Easily.
what do you what did you do to handle the stress and the pressures to get a scene down in such a fast pace and such a fast moment?
Oh wow, that's that. You know what? Before I will go into production, I'm always, I will pray before production, and I will
Mm-hmm.
pray before we start production. And it was this one time, right? I'm just doing production. It's like, God, like you said, the stress, right? Because you want to make sure each scene is going according to the way you have mapped it out, or put it in your storyboarding, or however way you are connecting with your cinema photographer to give you what you want. So this one scene, this one on the set, I was just going like, oh my God, oh my God. I said, did I forget to pray? I said, Lord. And the sister was like, you've been praying throughout the whole time you've been on the set. I was like, well, because the stress and the pressure, sometimes just really trying to get it going, and trying to get everyone to you know, play their position and act their role out. So it's a lot when a director is really trying to direct the scene and trying to get that scene to the way they want it and get the characters to, to pull out what they need for that character for that particular scene. So that was one time, like you said, this how do I handle the stress and pressure? I pray. And even when I think like, okay, did I pray? And people around me, they know this, right? So she was like, sister, you've been praying since the whole time you've been on this set. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to go and pray some more because the stress can really
Mm-hmm.
get to you because for me, I try not to be a perfectionist, but I know what I want. So I try to bring forth that on my set. And one of my friends right now, may God continue to bless him. He felt I was a little too much on set. Even though he had worked with me on a lot of my movies, and this particular one, he was the lead, and I just really was trying to get it going. And he felt a little too hard on the set, so he stopped working with me. He stopped working with me. But you're
Well,
supposed to know me. If you work on all these projects with me, you're supposed to
right,
know my energy and my spirit and how I flex and how I work. Just because you
right,
lead, I'm not gonna let up on you. Because I'm gonna put even more on you because you're the lead actress and I need you to bring it. Because if you bring it,
right,
your whole cast is gonna bring it. So but that's
right,
okay. That's okay. I still love
right.
everyone regardless if you work with me or you don't. It doesn't matter because my thing is to be able to please the Most High, because if I'm pleasing to God will let everything else fall into place. Everybody ain't gonna like what you do and everybody ain't gonna like you, so I'm good with that. I'm good. I just
Mm-hmm.
want to be a blessing to those that is a blessing to me. If you don't like me, that's okay, but I still love you. I still love
Right, 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 right. You
you
know
because
that.
that's the
That's
God
right.
in
That's
me.
right. That's
That's the
right.
God in me.
Well, I got in the name of an artist myself,
Mhm.
being an artist, you take on more than what you're supposed to take on,
You do.
and being an artist, you tend to rub people off the wrong way, rub. But see, that's what they take it as. But us being
Right.
an artist, us being perfectionists, we are artists, so we have to be hands on.
True.
We have to be hands on, and people who don't like that, they are, how can I say this? Oh, let me do my thing. But see, you're an artist. You're an artist. You can't allow people to just sometimes do their thing, because sometimes
True.
when they do that thing, it's like you have to. If you do it, okay. If you do it the way they want you to do it and say, let me do my thing. Let me make this thing. No. Sometimes if God said to do it that way, you got to do it that way,
That's
because
right.
if you allow somebody to do it that way, the way they say, let me do my thing, well, what happened is it'll take the passion, and it'll take the,
Hmm.
the part of the goodness part of, okay, it's like, okay, for example, okay, it's like making spaghetti, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't putting your foot in it, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying,
All
and
right.
you ain't putting no foot in it, and let's put somebody's other ingredients in it, it ain't gonna taste the way you like it, you know what I'm
Nope.
saying? It's gonna taste the
Nope.
way they like it, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Because
And
you
you know what
say
I'm
they
saying?
like it, not your way.
Right. So, right, it's like cooking some delicious ribs, and I love ribs. You damn right. So it's like putting a rub on it. You know what I'm saying? Putting the rub on it. You know what I mean? And then putting that base of
Mm.
like that moisture on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That moisture, that taste. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then you just put it in the oven, or you
There you
put it
go.
in a smoker. See
Now,
that moisture, that base. See, that base keeps that seasoning up
yes.
on top of that thing. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And it
That's
keeps
right.
that the juices of all the juices and
You
within the
better
juices.
stop.
You
You're
know
making me
what I mean?
hungry.
I'm an artist, so I got to put it all together in a way where you
Yes.
understand. You know what I mean? So you know, when you're an artist, you're more hands on than anything,
True.
and people get in your way with that. And especially if you're doing something for God, well, He wants you to do it that way, because if you do it that way, you're going to get the most blessing out of it.
Amen.
If you do it some person's type of way, if somebody telling you, "Oh no, do it that way," you know what's going to happen? Your project is going to fall short of what God wants
Come
it
on
to
now.
come.
Come on. Say that.
You know
Let
what I
it
mean?
go. Mm-hmm.
And when it tumbles, and you're gonna wonder why it's tumbling, And God's gonna look down at you and be like, "See, I told you to do it my way. Look what
Yes,
happened."
exactly, exactly.
So,
And where we go right back to God,
you go right back to
right back
God,
to God.
and sometimes He'll start you from the beginning
Oh
so that you can
yes,
relearn it all over again. But see, this is the thing. This is the thing. See, and this is the thing. This is what I learned about people. This is what I learned about God is that what He would do is when He wants you to sit and learn,
yes.
He won't take you all the way to the beginning where you're at.
Come on
He'll
now.
sit you right where you stop learning. Sit
Mm,
you right there and tell you to sit right there. He'll catch up. He'll have everything catch up to you,
come
right?
on now. Amen. Come
And
on now. My
see,
Lord.
He's right there with you, but also His Spirit is already there, right there
Mm,
at the finish line where you're supposed to be at, right there
come
where He
on now.
wants you to be. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But the enemy, see, if you're following the enemy, what he'll do is he'll knock you off the slate
Yeah. Yeah.
and he'll keep you down, right?
Mhm.
And he'll put you on a slate where you don't belong, where you don't want to be. It may
Wrong.
seem like you want to be there. It may seem like you belong there,
Right. But you don't. You
but
don't.
when exactly, it's like the broad road and the narrow road.
Come
The
on now.
broad road is where everybody else is going. The
Mhm.
broad road is where everybody else is going. Everybody they're going right there. But the narrow road is
Right there.
where
Hmm.
some folks has to go in order for them to succeed the
Right.
way they want to succeed.
Exactly.
If you go down that broad road, you're gonna get everything you wanted, right? You're gonna get everything you want. Even the bullshit, the baby mamas, the baby daddies, everybody. You know what I'm
All the
saying?
drama. All the drama.
All the drama, every drama you want, you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the big
Right.
booty women, you're gonna get the looking dudes, everybody. You know
All
what I'm
that. You're
saying?
gonna get it all.
You're gonna get it
Whatever
all.
your desire is.
Yeah, everything. You know what I'm saying? And then see that narrow road, you may get those things,
Mhm.
but you'll get the right type of people and the right type of things that'll
Yeah,
help you grow. You know what I'm
that's true.
saying?
That's
And
true.
see, those, like I've been saying on this show,
Hmm.
I need those with ears to hear and those with eyes to see. The narrow road. I'm not doing this because people slow. I'm doing this because people don't like to listen. The narrow road is where you have to be in order to get where you want to be. Because
Come
if you
on.
don't, you will slide right over to the broad road.
Yes, you will. You will. You will definitely, because that's the trick of the enemy to get you off the right track that God have you on, to get you unfocused on what you should be focusing on. And it's just there
Hmm.
with all that desire in front of you, dangling in
Hmm.
front of you.
Yeah, and this is the thing. What God always told me, He told me this a while ago. He says, fast money is not good money.
Come on now.
He said, long money and longevity money is good money. Why I say that? Why he said that? I asked him, why you say that, Lord? He said, because think about it.
Mhm.
Fast money, you get it, you spend it within a day. You get it, you spend it within a couple months, right?
True, true. Yep, yep.
Yeah. Because it's if you're an
You got it
irresponsible
fast, it's
person,
gonna go fast.
exactly. And it's a response. It's irresponsible. If you're an irresponsible person and you're immature, you don't know what you're doing. It's gonna
Mhm.
go fast. It's gonna go fast,
Right.
right? Now, if you know what I'm saying, how are you trending? It was a good finding meeting with you, my friend. Gary Errol Turner. Mr. Turner. I've been trying to get you on the show. You've been running, but I'm gonna get you. All right. Well, but what I was trying to say is that who was I saying? Okay,
You about
is
that
that
fast money, that easy money, how the fast money comes and goes. That long money is that longevity money. That's that money from the Lord. You know,
yeah,
he gonna allow you to
yeah,
leave generational wealth with that type of money.
exactly.
That
That
generational wealth.
long
What does
longevity
that mean?
money.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that long longevity money helps you
Hmm.
build your legacy.
Come on now.
It helps you build legacies on top of a legacy,
That's right.
and it
That's
helps
generational
you.
wealth, baby.
And it helps. Yeah, exactly. It helps that generation upon
Come
generations
on now.
to eat.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And say, like for example, if God tell you to build a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not telling you to build that house just for you
You
and
better
for
say
your family to
that.
live in it.
That's
He's
right.
telling you to build it for so y'all can live in it.
Right.
But when y'all stop living in it, he wants you to move other people in it. He
Right.
wants you to build on top of that house. He wants you to build on top of that, on top of that house, and he
Mm.
wants you to buy more land so
Yeah.
that you could build more houses on it, so that your family and other families can live on that land.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And I like what you said that right there because, I listen to Steve Harvey. He is one of my greatest, right at this point in time, motivational speaker, him and Les. But Steve Harvey said, and this was so deep. He said, when he was trying to make it in his career as a comedian, he, of course, he ended up homeless. He said, but when he was homeless, in the process of that, he used to go on other people's property that had ponds and stuff and try to fish to get him something to eat because he was only living off $50 a week. So they didn't know. He said they didn't know I was trying to get food to eat. They didn't know that. And say every time they would see me on their property fishing and get food, they would always tell me to throw it back. You got some of that line, throw it back. Or if he didn't have it, move off that property. You should be on it. He said, so one day he said, Lord, he said, God, he said, I want my own property where nobody ain't gonna run me off it. I can fish, I can do whatever. He said when he got his first $250,000, he went down south and he looked for some property. He said he found this property. I'll make this story short. And he said the property that he brought, he thought it was for him. He said, but that property God gave to him, like you said, for family to live and all that.
Hmm.
He said, but God gave him that property for young men. So every year he have 1,000 young men and 1,000 mothers, single mothers, go to that ranch. And he, to help with their development and encourage them, inspire them, and teach them certain things on the ranch. He said, I thought it was for me. When I said, God, give me that property, I didn't know God was giving it to me to help somebody else. And that's what you just said. Yes, because a lot of
Yeah.
people do it. When you think God is doing
Hmm.
it for you, actually God is using you to be a blessing to somebody else. And the blessing just keep coming to you. And that's why Steve Harvey is so blessed today because he didn't think of just himself. He thought of his family and others.
Hmm. And not many people, see, people don't understand is that when God gives you $1 billion, right?
Come on now.
$1 billion, right? That billion
Hmm.
dollars. Think about that $1 billion. Think about it, right? With a selfish person, they will spend it on themselves,
Yes.
right? They'll
Right.
spend it on cars, clothes, all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
With that $1 billion, you can still buy all of that, right?
True. True.
And still bless
Others.
everyone around you.
That's right. That's right.
Because God will cause your gifts and your talents to work for you
That's
instead
right.
of you working to build it and work for it. You will see. This is the thing. This is what God taught me. This is
Hmm.
what I learned. You know what I'm saying? I learned from somebody that
Right.
learned from somebody that brought it on to me,
Hmm.
but I took it and I was like, okay, let me multiply that bit. And I was like, okay, let me multiply, let me put that thing in motion, let me add on to it because I know how
Right.
to add
Right.
on. I'm a creator, I'm a builder, I'm the man. You know that, right?
Right.
Okay, so I said, all right, let me add on to what I'm doing. I got my show, I got my comic book coming in, I got, this, I got that. Okay, put that together. Now you have 5 streams of income, right?
Come on now. Come on.
So, Benz, though, a lot of people don't know how to handle that. See, this is what you do. You
Mhm.
put, you build one business,
Yes.
okay, you build another business, bang, okay, whatever. Say like people like to do hair, right? You build
Right.
that salon, right?
Right.
Okay. People like the restaurant, right? And
That's
see
right.
if that the same person, put that restaurant with that salon, right? Okay. And then you build another part, and then you have another part, dang.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Say like if it's uh selling marijuana, selling some weed or something like that. I
Mhm.
don't know. Because people just some stuff, I don't, it's
Hey,
just
they got so
cannabis.
many cannabis club around here. Everybody's selling some marijuana. It's legal. You can
Exactly.
go to the
Yeah.
cannabis and get what you need. All right. Come on, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Because when we go back to biblical scriptures, everybody be saying that was the burning bush, that blazed up when Moses was talking to him. That's that weed right there. That burning bush, the herb. I'm like, really? Was that really the burning bush, the herbs? that was speaking to Moses, telling Moses what to go do. Tell Pharaoh,
Uh,
let my people go. So I guess Moses was over there getting high off the burning bush as it's blazing up, right?
see,
Was
this is the
talking
thing.
to him.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. What I try to tell people is that, I mean, what a lot of people don't understand is that's symbolic. You know what I'm saying? That's symbolic for
Yes.
God could talk to you through anything and everything.
Anything. Even he
You know
used
what
the
I'm saying?
donkey. He used the donkey in the Bible. So God can use anything or anyone to get you to where you need to go. You just gotta, like you said earlier, have them eyes open and them ears to hear the voice, and them eyes to see
Uh
the
huh.
direction he is trying to take you.
Right. And see, what I learned is that building businesses, right?
Yes, sir.
You may think it's not moving,
Hmm.
but if you really look at it, put a lot of these businesses that you're putting together will work together as a whole and
Yes.
as itself. And so
True.
think about that. Businesses like your acting career, you're producing movies
Yes.
and you're doing other things, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Put that together, and as you're making money off of one part of your gift,
Hmm.
God's gonna cause that to trickle over
Yes. I totally agree.
and
Yes.
explode through the wall
Hmm.
and the water's gonna come and trickle over to that one.
Yes. That look,
And
I
then
agree with you on that one, my brother.
and see, this is the thing, a lot of people don't have that creator's mentality. See, they want it, but they don't want to work hard for it, you know. And I tell people, if you think you could do a podcast, if you think you can go here and yeah, it's easy to do an episode here and there.
Yeah.
Easy to do that. But tell me how can you get it done in a year? Before a
Oh,
year? Can you do two? Can you do three?
hmm.
Because I could do three, four, five, even six if I want to, and one day.
Okay.
But see, that's the God in me that's doing that. I'm not doing that. The me, I don't want to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? But I got to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what God got me doing.
Because he made a
But
promise to you. He made a promise to you, and you
exactly,
have to obey the promise.
exactly, and I obeyed the promise. So we have to do it in a way of He wants it. So I mean, I love doing this stuff because it's fun, and I love it because it's energizing and it brings the best out of me. And so, just like acting brings the best out of you, you
Yeah.
know. So if you
Yeah.
really look at it, is that when these gifts that we have,
Right.
you know, you being an actress, you being a singer, that's a business in itself.
Right. Right.
And see, if you start doing something else, you can push that together with that. And guess what
Use
God will
it
do? You
directly.
add exactly.
Directly.
You add God into that, and what happened? He will make sure it's blessed. And one thing God told me, He said, it's different when God is on it. It's different when God is pushing it. It's different when I'm pushing it. It's different when I'm going in with you. It's
That's
different. See,
what it is.
you can make something, it could be defiled, right? In
Mm-hmm.
His eyes. But until you bring Him into it, you won't see it as defiled. He'll see it as, oh, I'm gonna make this into my son's good
Yeah.
instead of making it for the good of the enemy. See, the enemy wants to push you into a hole and have you bury yourself.
Ah, yes. That's
See,
right.
what God would do, He'll be like this, okay,
Yeah.
come out that hole and keep on digging that hole, keep on digging that hole, keep on digging it,
Mm-hmm.
and then build something onto it.
That's right.
Turn it around for your good so that
Yeah.
you can process and profit off of the enemy's dumb mistakes.
Yeah. This is like what the enemy meant for your harm, God can turn it around for your good.
Hmm.
And that's just how God works when we have faith. Like I said, faith without works is dead. So if you don't have faith,
Hmm.
believe in what God has called you to do, then you will not see the manifestation of it. You will not see yourself ministering in that area. And I think that's what really holds a lot of people back. Instead of they, focus on the faith, they focus on the fear of failing, the fear of not having what you need to move forward, to continue doing it. And it's just one thing, my daughter, because I have so much love for the Lord, and I always talk about, trusting what God gives you to do, because there's always a blessing in what God tell you. And she told me, and I'm gonna make it real quick, but it just really dawned on me on this story, right? She said that she was on one of the social media, and she said this minister was a female minister, and she said she was getting ready to leave out the house to get ready for Sunday church service ahead the church. And she said the Lord spoke to her because she was wearing her dress. The Lord spoke to her and said, go back in and put some leggings on. And she like, how we like, because we don't know what God is trying to do and use us, right? And she's like, she's like, well, I want to put on leggings. I feel comfortable in this dress. So she continued to proceed out the door, and she heard the voice of the Lord strongly. Now, God will hear God, but when we don't obey, he'll go louder on you to get your attention. So she said, okay. So she went back and she changed and she put on her leggings. She said when she was in the church, she was ministering and everything. And she said the Spirit of the Lord told her to do a flip. She said, a flip? What's going on here, Lord? So she was obedient, and she did that, not knowing God was using her for an atheist that was in a church. Because this atheist, he said, see, I'm a believer now of God. She said, I didn't believe in God, but he said, I told God, if you real, you let this minister do a flip. And that's what God used her. See, God can use us to change somebody else's life, to show them that God is real. So after she didn't know why God was using her, but God had to prove to someone else that did not believe that he was real, that he exists and he hears prayers. And God can show you who he is through someone else. And God used her. And when after it all was said and done, she was like, okay, I was obedient. Now, what if I wasn't obedient and didn't do that and just went on to church and wore that dress? God could have used me to convince an atheist that he is real. So God had to use her. So she was obedient. And in obedience is a blessing. When you're obedient, it's a blessing. And that's what we don't. Because sometimes we be like, is this God? Why would God tell me this don't sound right? Because what God tells you is not like what man gonna tell you. See, what God tells us to do, it's like it's on top of, it's like go past our head. Because we be like, I don't know about that. But God don't do any, just ordinary things. He do extraordinary things. He's not an ordinary God. He's an extraordinary God. So when he tells you to do something, it's gonna be like, wow, I don't know. Yes, do it, because God something differently. That's gonna be like, well, I don't know, because this sounds strange to be doing. That don't make sense. What God tells you to do, it ain't gonna always make sense until you do it. Then it all comes together.
And you know what's crazy? One day, God told me, he was like this. He said, "Son, eat an egg." I said, God, eat an egg. He said, "Eat an egg." I said, "Okay." Here, me being weird, me being crazy, right? I took an egg. I just threw it in my mouth, right?
Right.
And I cracked it open and threw it in my mouth. You're like, ugh, the fuck is going on? Why it tastes like that, right? Tastes all the yolk. Ugh. So he said, son, you were so funny. I told you. He said, you ain't have to eat it raw. He said, eat
Oh
it,
my
scramble it or something. Then he said, son, come on. He said, now see, you was obedient. I said, I did it. He was like, yeah, you did it. But how did it taste? I said, it tastes nasty. It tastes nasty, right? So he was like, okay, you did it. So now think about it. You obeyed what I told you to do. You ate the egg, and you was like, "That's dumb. It's stupid." You know what I mean? Why would I eat an egg? See,
Mm-hmm.
we think about how we're going to look in front of people,
Come on now.
and we worry about what people going to think and what people say. But God tells us to keep our eyes on Him instead of people.
That's
Because
right.
people going to fall out your life to come in your life. He's never going to fall out your life. He's never going to come back in your life. He's going to stay in your life.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, rewind that. So he said, okay, all right, son, you ate the egg. You know, here you go. This is when I was 24. Matter of fact, I was 26. That was when I got a bonus at my job.
Yes.
I was like, all right, I hear you loud and clear now. I said, that is one thing God always told me is that you if you believe and you listen to everything I said,
Mm-hmm.
you will achieve over the amount that you're supposed to achieve.
Right. That's
You will
being a
accomplish more than you thought you accomplish.
right.
And see, me, I've always been that one person that got everything late, everything last, everything
Right.
last. I was always the last person to get it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he told me, he said, the reason why I had you last is because remember what I said. The last shall be first and the first shall be last.
Right.
And one thing I learned is that being last is not always bad. See, he keeps his last for the strongest warriors.
Yes.
He keeps his best blessing, because
Mm-hmm.
the last blessing that he got, the last present he got,
Mm-hmm.
is bigger than all the other ones.
Right. That's right, and I like what I like. How the way you put that is, the he shall make the last present first last, and the last blessings the greatest one. And you hearing you say that, it makes me think about my journey as a filmmaker. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when God has you on a journey and things ain't working out the way you want, sometimes you can start withering in your faith, start fear, start in doubt and all that. Like, oh God, am I on the right track? I mean, it's taking too long, because God don't work overnight when He have big things planned for you. So
Hello,
on that,
Roscoe.
when
Sorry
I
about that. Go ahead.
when when I wanted to give up, right? There's
Uh huh.
stages in my life, and I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing it, and I don't see nothing happen. And the Spirit of the Lord, would speak to me and say, don't stop, keep going. You're almost there. So, and then God will allow something to happen in your life to give you like, okay, God, hear me. You just keep going, right? That thing would happen. And then it'll come a point in your life, like for me, I'm speaking where I'm like, oh God, I'm keep going. You saying I'm almost there, God, but it don't feel like I'm almost there. I'm still struggling. I'm still having
Uh huh.
out there. And then the Spirit of the Lord would just tell me, just to keep me going. He would keep you going by, encouraging you, by telling you things, right? In your spirit. He's like, you're closer. I'm like, I'm closer. So then he'll make something else happen in your life that'll keep you going, right? So God was like, then I'm like, then of course we break down again in the process of the journey. Like, okay, God, you say I'm closer, but how I'm close? I don't see nothing happening. But the thing is, what we want to see, we don't see it. But if we open our spiritual eyes, we can see the blessings. We can see God taking us from glory to glory, step to step. So the last time I broke down, I said, God, you say I'm closer. Then God was like, you are there. You're there. So he was like, keep going. Don't stop. You're almost there. Keep going. Don't stop. You're closer. Keep going. Don't stop. You're there. And I'm like, I'm there? Well, God, how am I there? Ain't nobody gave me my major deal yet. My bank account is looking like millions. I don't have my private jet. All these material things that you see people that's prosperous have, you know what I'm saying? But God
Uh
was telling me, you are there. When you acknowledge how far you have come to where you at right now, then you understand, like, yes, I'm there. And when you acknowledge that, then everything else will fall into place. The money, the jets, and all that. He said, but I can't give you that until you understand how far you have come, where you have come from, where you at, and then you can appreciate where I'm about to give you and what I'm about to take you. So I said, oh my God. And that's when I'm like, oh my God, I get it. You had me on a journey. I was learning. You was preparing me for what's to come. And the struggle is real. Hello.
huh.
The
Yeah. Yes,
struggle
it is.
is real, because as many times on this journey I want to give up, but God kept encouraging me on my journey as an independent award-winning filmmaker, doing my own films, putting forth my own money in the midst of trying to finish up my first feature. I know it's going to get done because God is doing something in me right now by allowing me to work with other filmmakers, just bigging me up at this point where I can go to my hometown, be crown crew of Ghana Grand Marshal, honored by my mayor in my hometown, come back from there and get honored, award, I want to say, from the Colonel Taco Film Festival in India, the Bangkok Film Festival in Thailand. It's like this was God was saying when he said, you are there. This what he was talking about. All these things that's happening. You have to understand where you at. So I started looking at where I was at. I was like, God, I see it. Even though you may not see your bank account big, he said, but embrace and appreciate the blessings now, and everything else will.
Phone call. But y'all see what I'm talking about. Things will work. I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
something happened. Someone was calling in. I tried to ignore the call, but I guess everything went shut. But no, what I was saying was, God had to show me that everything, this journey he had me on, like, keep going, you're almost there, soon, and all these little steps he had me to make me understand that everything in life, when he, like you said, when he gives you, it's a blessing. You just got to keep hanging in there, no matter how rough the journey gets, because along the way, God waters the seed of faith in you, because he knows fear is going to try to come in and slack us and slow us down and get us off track. Then he waters the seed of strength, so you can have the
Mm-hmm.
strength to go the next mile or two. You got to have that faith. You got to have the strength to keep going, because the enemy going to push that fear and doubt and all this other stuff that slows us down and have us thinking that we are not getting nowhere, which you are. You just got to open up your spiritual eyes. Stop looking in the natural. Stop looking for that big thing and appreciate the small things. Because God said, when you are grateful for little, he will give you much more. He said your gift will make room for you. So my gift is supposed to be making room for me right now. Hello. Okay.
Right, right. And I have a story.
Mhm.
The story what you're talking about. It rings right in my ear because that's exactly what I've been through. Because with my comic book being out and coming out
Yes.
with this show, oh my God, woo, my God,
Hey, this a journey.
man.
This a journey. You're on a
I
journey.
swear on my life, because the one thing God always told me, it was some rough days, and I don't show that it was a rough day, and I don't act like it's not a rough day. But one thing about it is that I've had some rough days, some very, very rough days where I got mad at God
Yeah.
and I saw so many people getting everything before I did,
Uh,
and I was the hardest
uh-huh.
working one
I
out of
feel
every
that.
last one of them. And I'm like, they can't do what I do, God. What is going on? What's going on? Why am I still here? Why am I still here? What's going on, Lord? Why? And he's like, and it got to the point to where I was crying. It got to the
Yeah.
point to where
Hmm.
like like he had to sit me down and
Yes.
show me
Hmm.
everybody's situation.
He will do it
All
too.
the yeah, and what he did was he was like this. He said he had me look with my spiritual eyes because I
Come
have
on.
a gift where I can see other
Hmm.
people's situation.
Yes.
And I seen it, and they didn't look as happy as they looked in the physical.
Come on.
And the guy was like saying, "Son, you see how I'm working you so hard? You see how I'm pushing you so hard? It's because you're a warrior,
Come on.
and you're one of the strongest ones out here.
Hmm.
And when you get up to the top to where you're supposed to be, and no stronghold or any wind or any storm is going to take you down. And the
Amen.
thing about it is that when he tells me, he says, before you do shows, I
Hmm.
want you to pray.
Yes.
He
Yes.
said, I want you to pray every show, even if it's before the show or after the show, I want you to pray. And he said, because not everybody understands what's going on with your show. He said you will get people telling you that your show is not good. You will get people
Of
telling you
course.
that your show you don't have the numbers. You'll
Yeah.
get people telling you that your show is good but it's not great. You'll get people trying
Right.
to tell you that you don't take criticism. But he said, understand this, son. He said to me, he said they don't have no any right. He said He said they don't have any right to criticize you because at the end of the day, even if they want the good for you, even if they want the bad for you, they're being selfish.
All right now.
And he told me, he said, they want it for their own sake. They want it for their own will.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, not many people are criticizing you to do good. He said, constructive criticism and criticism, it all works in the selfish ways
Mm.
because they're putting their own spring in their hands on something that I created,
Right.
and it's not mine now; it's theirs.
Yeah, come on now.
He
And now you
said,
want to
but
take credit for what God started.
exactly, and when it starts to grow, you hear. He told me you'll hear people saying, "I taught you that. See, I
Yep.
taught you that.
Yep.
See, you see what I'm talking about now."
Mm.
And God told me, He said, "Don't focus on that. Don't listen to that because that's people trying to put their hands on something that they had no dealings with. They had no hands in it." He said, "Yes, you will not get there on your own," but He said to tell me, He said, "Praise me when all of this goes
Come on
through."
now. Amen. That's right.
He
All
told
praise
me,
to him.
yes, and that's why I work as hard. I work. He said that's why I work you hard as I can, hard every day. He said that's why I wake you up to do your shows, even when you don't want to do it.
That's right.
I wake you up to do it because that is what you're supposed to do. That is what you're built to do.
That's
And he
right.
said you're a entertainer.
Come on now.
You entertain my people.
That's right.
And he said the entertainment is not to not contain them, it's to bring them up, not down.
Right.
And my friend Steve, my brother Steve, we be up half of the night, yeah, helping each other, and sometimes we do it till we fall asleep.
God.
And me and Steve, me and my brother Steve, me and him, we're best of friends. He's like my ace, like, what I mean?
That's a
And
blessing right there to have someone to have
yeah,
your back when you need them.
yeah, because he got me. He brought me up when I didn't have nobody. What I mean, like, and Steve is not. He's not like everybody. He's eccentric, but he's. But I like him. What I'm saying, I love him because he understands me when I don't. When others don't
Right.
understand me. And he always tells me, man, like, always remember. What I'm saying, you built this. You
Mm-hmm.
built it.
Mm-hmm.
God did it through you.
Come
So
on.
always remember, it's you and God, not nobody, not you and Johnny, not you and Erica, not you and nobody. It's you and God.
You ain't
And
got.
he said, always remember, man, like, don't let people tell you you can't do this. Look
Mhm.
how far you've come.
That's right.
And I've came a long way. And I'm telling you this now. It's a year. And God told me, he even told me before I was going to do it. He
Mm-hmm.
said, you're going to eclipse your goal before the year's up of
Right.
100 episodes. And I did
Okay.
it.
Yeah. See.
I blew it out the water. And now I'm inching towards 20, no, inching towards 200 shows.
Well, congratulations to you, my brother. You're
I
being
congratulate
obedient.
God.
You're being
I'm
obedient.
glorifying
And
God
God is going
because,
to higher heights. You're going to do it on bigger and major levels because you was obedient to start right here with little. You started with little, and you was like, "Oh God, you want to start right here?" You didn't say, "I want to start big." You were faithful. You being faithful over little right now, and watch
yeah.
God give you big. And I'm just saying, in a sense of starting your show right here on this platform here, because what's in you is big. This
Hmm.
show is in you is big. So it's a seed. God planted that seed in you. Now you planted the seed by starting the show. Now, as you continue doing these shows, like you're saying, to 200, now who's to say when you get to the mark of 200, God don't give you that major platform? Hmm? Come on now.
Hey,
Why?
hey,
Because you was obedient. You didn't look at it like, oh, this is a small platform. God, I want something big, like a big TV show or a big old podcast. You said, God, thank you for allowing me to do this much for you. And that seed you are planting right here in your show, as you can see, is growing. Look at you. You almost to 200 shows. Come on.
Thank you,
That
thank you,
that
thank
seed
you.
is
It's all
growing.
God, man. It's not me.
It's
It's all
growing.
God.
Come on now.
It's
Let's
all
give God
God.
the glory for growing your show right now. Your show is growing, my brother.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
it's
And
growing.
you know, it made me wonder, right? Because I'm a type of person that I'm a confident, over the top confident person. I'm
Okay,
overconfident.
you
That's
better
just
be.
me. People always tell me you cocky, but that's my personality. I have to be cocky. I have to be
What's your
arrogant
sign?
in ways. I'm a Capricorn, so you know.
Oh, Capricorn. Okay, all right. Yeah, you can be a little of that Capricorn. How about that business? Capricorn with that business, they ain't playing.
Yeah, and see, and this is the thing, it's like me. I'm a fast mover when it comes to
Yes, you
in a
are.
lot of things. I'm a fast mover, so I have to get it done fast, 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 fast.
Yeah.
And that's the way God made me to do that.
Mhm.
I can't be around people that's not fast. I can't do business with people that's not fast. And if you're doing it slow, it's like you're hindering me. You're hindering me. You can't, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I learned is that this show is not about me. It is about the people that I bring on.
Come on
It
now.
is about the people that make it possible for me
Yeah.
to entertain the people. I love the guests that I bring on because I learn a lot. I learn a lot. I've got to know some of the most amazing people. Mr. Robert Parham, Mr. Rodney
Yes,
Barnes,
yes, brother
R. Marcus
Robert. Yes, I was
Taylor,
singing out with brother
Miss
Robert on
Sandra
yesterday.
Smith. A lot
Even
of
Elise
people that,
Hollywood Evans.
yeah, a lot of people that gave me a chance. A lot of people that understood what I was doing, and I was a baby. They let me experiment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I've had some egotistical, cocky people tell me that I didn't have the numbers, and you know who I'm talking about. I
Yes.
hope you're watching it.
Right,
So,
right.
and hold up, commercial break me, please. I want to talk to that person right now. You may not see this, you may see this, but trust me, I hope you are, and you will see it soon. I want to take this thing over. I want to take over the whole podcast world. And
Hmm.
when I do, you're going to want to come on. It's going to come to the point to where it's going to make you want to come on. And I'm going to show you better than I could tell you.
Well, God has a way of changing people's hearts. He has a way of
Hmm.
changing your heart. You see, sometimes people can't see you right now. They see you, but they don't see you. But see, God have to take the veil from their eyes to see you the way God is presenting you to the world, to your audience, and on this platform. The eyes got to open. See, he don't see you right now, but he will, like you just said. You will want to come on my show. He don't see you the way others are seeing you and say, hey, I love what you're doing. It's not always, see, I know social media in the world now is all about numbers. But when God's hand is in it, it ain't about no numbers because God can make them
Exactly.
numbers go whoosh, straight up. God can go,
Hmm.
that's God. But in the midst of everything, he don't want to just throw you out there. He want to build you up. He's building you up. That's what he's doing. He can make those numbers go the way he want them. But right now, you in the process of building. Like you said, God don't want you to think it was all you that build you up, or people that comes in and help you thinking it was all them. He wants you to see it's him that's building your show. It's him that's building you. It's the spirit that's in you that's building what's going on. So it's not about the people. It's not about the numbers. It's about God allowing the right, hear me now, the right people to come on and be a blessing to your audience. It's the right people. Because I know sometimes we want everybody on here because we just love people. We want everybody to come and share their gift, their talent, their testimony of what they went through to get to where they're at, and they're big and doing big things. Yes. But sometimes God said, no, I have certain people, humble, you hear me? Humble
Hmm.
people to come on and share their story and bless your platform. Those are the people God is going to have to come on and help you build your numbers. Is those people with a humble heart and the love for others. Like you love people, the ones that are going to come on your show, they're going to love people. They want to come and bless your audience. They want to come and inspire your audience, because when we are on social media, we are tapped into the world. So you are inspiring the massive with your show.
Mm. You know, I want to get to building you up a lot more. It's not about me. I just don't like to, talk about me. And
But we've been
nah,
talking about God the whole day. We've been talking about God since we've been on here. We ain't been
I
talking
know.
about hardly ourselves. This platform been about lifting the Lord up, glorifying Him for the blessing. Because I need some more blessings here. Look, when the praise goes up, the blessings come down, right?
Yes, it
So
does.
we've
Yes,
been
it does.
praising God the whole time. So we want the blessings to fall on
That's
us.
right. That's right. And I've been thinking. I
Yes.
I really been I really been wanting to bring the people on that understand the process.
Yes.
That understands you got to fall in love with the process.
Come on now.
You got to believe in the process because the process will hit you in your mouth hard.
Yes. You say
Woo!
in the mouth.
Yeah. And it'll knock you down and it won't let you up until you fall in love with it.
Okay.
Yes, because it's put me on my ass many a
Yes.
time. And
Yes.
I'm like, man, look, let me give in. Let me give in. Because one thing you know is that when you're learning the process,
Mm-hmm.
you're learning patience.
Oh God, yes. It's the key.
Patience,
Virtually.
exactly. See,
Mm.
because along that process, patience come into works. Because when that patience come into work, you learn to deal with people.
Ah, you better
You
say
learn
that.
to deal with situations.
Oh
You
yes.
learn to deal with, you know, storms,
All
adversity,
that. All that.
controversy.
Oh
See,
yeah.
and this is the thing. Back then, I wouldn't have been able to deal with that person telling me, "Oh, this is now." I would have cursed them out. Me being
But see, God
something,
is changing you.
yeah,
He's
I
working
would have
on
cursed
you.
them out. But my spirit was like, don't do nothing. Don't curse
That's
them out.
right.
Just chill, sit back. You know what I'm saying, and just go back to basics. And what he meant was go back to basics. Get back to basics, son. Just continue to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people telling me, don't, you don't have the numbers. You got to do that. I'm not revamping anything. I'm not doing anything because I learned
Mm-hmm.
that I've gotten here with my show looking the way it is now.
But you hear what you
And
keep saying? You hear the key word? You keep saying people.
hmm
People. People saying you should do this. People saying this. People. Block them people out and listen to the voice of the Lord telling you to do because that's why you're doing this show because God promised you if you do this show, He will elevate it and take it to the next level. See, people gonna always come and say you should do this. This don't look right. You should redo this. You should get your numbers up. Look, God told me to do this. So if God wants the numbers up, He gonna make the numbers go up. Okay. So people gonna always be in your ear. Remember that they're gonna always be in your ear.
of
People.
course, of course, of course, and I get that all the time. I
Oh
get that
yes,
every day.
we all do.
Yeah,
Thank you for your advice, but I gotta go with my way.
yeah. And my way have been doing it. You know, it's been doing justice,
There you
and
go.
it may have been slow, but it's getting to where it wants to be.
Well,
And
you said the process. That's what you said. It's a
yeah,
process.
it's a process, and I've loved the process because
Thank you.
I love doing live shows. I love it because it keeps people tapped in.
Yeah.
It keeps the people that don't want to watch, that keep scrolling past it. They're going to watch it sooner or later. They're going to watch
Yes.
it sooner or later. They're going to want to
Get
watch it
on here
sooner
and
or
watch
later.
this show. It's inspiring and it's uplifting. Not only that, you get to see a lot of amazing people in the industry that's coming, sharing their knowledge and wisdom and their story on how God allowed them to be successful. So you have it both. God is allowing you to bring inspiring filmmakers, actors, singers on your show, and then God is allowing you to bring those that have already made it to share their story and their journey. So you got the best of both worlds, my brother.
Yeah, and see, and people ask me, how do you get these people on your show? And I tell them, man, it's mostly it's God.
That's
It's
it.
not
That's
me.
all it is. That's all you can say.
And then I say, I got the gift of gab. I know how to talk.
You're a Capricorn, that's why.
I know how to talk. I know how to smooth talk them. Get them going on the show. And then we do
Yes,
work, we do
yeah,
magic.
you have that. You have that.
But
But
that's
that's a
just
gift.
me.
Like you
What
said,
I
gift
mean?
of God, that's a gift.
It's a gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that because if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
That's it. But
That's
nah, it's just it's just that people will become people will try to force their way onto what you're doing
hmm
because they feel that they can make a name for themselves on what you're doing. And God told me about that before things
Oh
started
yeah.
to happen.
Oh yes.
He said leeches.
You
Leeches
already
will
know.
jump on everything. And
Uh-huh.
and one thing I learned, man, is that being in the business, being in the entertainment business, you will deal with people who will try to use you, will
Yep.
try to will try to bring you down, try to hinder
Yep.
you, try to
Yep. Yep. All that.
destroy you.
Yes.
But God told me, He said, I'm about to turn it around for your good because, you know, He seen that I was going through a lot of shit. He seen that I was going through a lot of pain, a lot of
Mm.
struggles. I've been through that. I've been through hell and back with this thing. And like I said, I ain't giving up. I
That's
don't quit.
That's the key. Never give up. If God called you to do it, never give up because those going to be challenges. It's going to be, where the road get a little rough and rugged. But when we continue on the journey and keep those prayers going, it's like, give me a little bit more strength to get this mile or two. Then God gives it to us because He know the enemy is going to come. He know He's going to give us some tests along the way to see if we still trusting Him along the way. If we're going to wither in our faith or we're going to keep moving on. We're going to throw our hands up and say, I can't do it. I can't go no more. You know what I'm saying? So along the way, God carries us like that little, the saying, the footprints in the sand. I know you know about that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
Mm-hmm.
way God treats us when we can't go no more because we get weak and we like, and God picks us up and He carries us. Like you said, you seen 4 sets of footprints in the sand, and all of a sudden you seeing two because sometimes the journey get a little rough for us. And God picks us and carry us. And when He picks us up and carry us, that's that strength. You know what I'm saying? That's that strength you're getting. And God gave me, and I'm gonna say this. God gave me this today in prayers. He was saying, like, when we go into that mode where we just burnt out, we just stressed, we are worried, and we just go before God and we just start praying. And sometimes the tears are come in our eye because we're going through so much. Like you said, in this world, the journey gets rough. And when you're in prayers and you crying out to God, asking God to just fix things or give you strength to get through. And you know how that warmness comes over you. You know how
Mm-hmm.
you feel like that warm feeling comes over you and you feeling like yes, and you start feeling much better. The tears, you don't wipe the tears, and you feel like yes, I feel good. Well, that's the Holy Spirit wrapping His arms around you, letting you know that everything is going to be all right. And God showed me that. He said, now let me take it back to your birth parent. He said that that's how I am. It's the same way with your birth parent. When you go to your mom and things ain't going right in your life, and you just have to go and you go to your mom, and you start bawling like, Mom, this ain't going right. Mom, this ain't going right. And your mom said, come here, baby, come here. And she holds you in her arm and she tells you, baby, it's going to be all right. God is going to work that thing out for you. You just calm it down and know how you start feeling. Then you start feeling like, yeah, Mom. You know how that feeling when your mom wrap you in her arms and tell you it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be all right, and you feel like yes, it's gonna be all right. That's the same feeling the Holy Spirit gives us when we going through the troubles and the struggles in the world, and we go before the Lord, and we start crying and to the Lord, and He wraps us around, just wraps us in His arm, and you feel that calmness. That's the Holy Spirit, the same way your earthly parents do you when they come and say, "Come on, baby, come in here." Your mom hold you, and you be feel like yes, because your mom got you. She got you in her arm and you feel sick. You feel like everything gonna be all right. Because why? Mom got you, calming you down. That's the Holy Spirit the same way. Same way.
Got me about to cry over this, man. Yeah, but
That's
Woo!
what God gave me today. That's how God gave it to me. And I was like, wow, that's true. Because when we praying and we be crying and all that calmness and like this warm feeling just comes over you and you feel calm. That's the Holy Spirit calming your spirit, letting you know that everything is going to be all right. God got you. God got you.
hmm I've been feeling those feelings every day
God
since the
got
day
you,
I'm
baby.
born.
God got you. He
Oh,
let you
damn
know
right.
you on the right track and everything gonna be all right.
Damn right. Cause I'm gonna get where I want to be. Damn right. I ain't
You
stopping.
there. You there. Look at you. Give yourself a round of applause. Pat yourself on the back. You are there. Come on now. You're there. And only thing you can do is go further up. That's all you can do is keep
That's right.
elevating. Keep
That's right. You
leveling
know.
up. Next level stuff God got for you, baby. Next
That's
level
right.
stuff. You better get ready. Get like, look, TDJ, get ready, get ready, get ready. Because there's a blessing on the way for you. There's a blessing on the way. You better get ready to receive it. Okay?
Oh,
You better get
that's
ready to
right.
receive it because it's coming. It's gonna chase you down.
Oh,
Chase you down.
and I just the same people that embrace me. I love them. I
Yes.
love them all
And they
because
have so much love for you.
and I would never turn my back on them. I would never turn my back on people. That's one thing about me. I can't do. I can't turn my back on the people that love me. I can't turn it back on the people that stood by me.
Right on.
And I promise y'all, man, when I make it, when this show make it, I promise you, this is from the heart. You will, you will get what I've been promising y'all. I promise you that.
That's
I'm a
right.
man of my word. Y'all know it's gonna happen.
I know you are,
So,
Capricorn.
and I think everybody for just the love because it's not that I want to. I push this thing hard because I know how far it will go. I know how
Yeah.
far it can go, and I and that's why I do the shows like I do. 2 days, two shows a day, 3 shows a day
Wow.
because I'm
You are
pushing to get
passionate, bro.
where I need to
You
be.
passionate. Yes.
Yeah, and and God told me, He said, nobody, not many people can do what you're doing. He said, not many people are doing what you're doing. Not many people have done what you've done. And I'm like, you sure? He's like, no. He said, son, they pre-record this, so you do all this stuff live.
Mhm.
And I said, I guess because I enjoy the people that I entertain. I enjoy people making people smile, making people laugh. And this is not about me, but I just want to let y'all know that we will we will make it together.
Yes, we
As
will.
long as we come together, we will make it together. And we're all growing together. And no matter what, I got your back. The
Yes.
In Your Face Show got your back. You know what I'm saying? We
Face.
got your back. You know what I mean? And back to the mission at hand, you know what I'm saying? See, I would like to talk about the movie in a short sentence, you know what I'm saying? Short, let's make it short, educated slave minister.
The educate. Okay. The educated slave minister Nat Turner. Well,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that project came about. T25cl.com is a TV network and for all music, entertainment, all that great stuff. But anyway, Andre Ward wanted a couple of female filmmakers to come together and produce educational films for young African Americans, and even some of those elders who have forgot about the struggle and our ancestors who have paved the way and shed blood for what we have today. So he wanted us to choose heroes that inspire our lives. So I chose Nat Turner because Nat Turner was a spiritual man that heard from God. He got all his visions and definitions and everything from God. He would go into the fields and God would literally speak to him and tell him what to do. And even when he would run away from his slave masters, God would tell him to go back to the slave master. He would go back, they would beat him and all that, but he was also a man that the slave owners would use to, I would say, manipulate the slaves with the Bible, because the Bible was a manipulation to control the slaves and have them to do what the slave owners wanted them to do. So Nat Turner, when God revealed all that to him, he no longer wanted to be used by the slave owners to minister. He didn't just to the slave, but he ministered to the slave owners and the whites and all that because he was such a powerful minister at that time. But he was an educated slave as well, not just a powerful minister, but he was educated, and he started to really educate and teach the slave what was really going on. And he didn't want to have no part of like, nah, I'm not going to manipulate the slave and tell because this is not what God is saying to do. That's what the Bible used to control the slaves at that time. I mean, the slave owners used the Bible. So God gave that to me. And I studied Nat Turner in my African-American class. And I was just taken by him. Like, because I'm like, to hear from God is a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? So that inspired me to do the movie on Nat Turner, because he was like someone to me that was spiritual, and God, he heard from God. Because when God gives you a mission, you have to be about that mission. Sometimes death can, it can end in death, but that's okay, because the Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
And that brings you back, because God just put something in my spirit. He said, he showed me something. He told him to go back so that he can free others.
Yes.
So that he can free others.
Yes.
He took the blows, he took the beatings, he took the torture to free his other brothers and sisters.
Yes.
To teach his other brothers and sisters what God was trying to teach him. And what a lot of people don't know is that, they take it as, well, the Bible was this, the Bible was that. See, the Bible has a lot of contradictions, and see, the Bible got slavery in it. But what y'all don't understand, see, y'all reading through it with the carnal eyes. See, y'all not reading it with the spiritual eyes, with the Holy Spirit. You have to have the Holy Spirit in order to read His Word, because if you don't have the Holy Spirit to read His Word, you'll be thinking that it's contradictions, but it's not. It's actually more passages added on to it. Everybody's point of view of what happened. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's just like, for example, a crime, somebody get killed. Somebody seen something different. Somebody seen another part. Somebody seen a different part, but it all comes in the same place.
Right.
It all comes from the same place. Everybody was there. You know what I'm saying? One person seen this, one person seen that, one person seen how, you know what I'm saying? So how can there be a contradiction? And so one thing I learned is that what you were just saying is that he sent him back to free his brothers and sisters. And when he freed them, they began to go through and take down the slave masters. You know what I'm saying? And when God is in, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I keep telling people. When God is in on something, and when God is with you, you will come like an army, ready to tear down the enemy strongholds on the very place that God has you going to.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to free somebody a long way where you're tearing down that wall. You know what I'm saying?
Like Jericho.
You know what I'm saying? And exactly.
Tear the walls down.
Exactly.
The walls down.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't understand that. And I kept telling people, see, when God is doing something, when God is on it, you cannot change anything, because that formula is tearing that wall down little by little by little by little. And when the littlest bricks the littlest bricks cause that wall to fall down in big lumps.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what I tell people. You cannot deny what I'm doing. Everything that I'm doing, tearing it down little by little by little by little. And all the people that has been on the show, all the people that's been watching me, tear it down little by little by little by little by little.
Tear the walls.
They've been watching you. They've been watching you do it little by little by little by little by little by little.
Yeah.
They've been watching Mr. Robert Parham little by little by little by little by little.
Yep.
All of these people that I'm talking about, we're tearing it down little by little by little by little.
Amen.
You're going to get your fame little by little by little. That's how God feeds you.
Yes, that's right. That's the journey. That's the process. Right.
Yeah, that's how God feeds you. He's not going to feed you a little big piece of meat when you're not able to swallow milk.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? If He gives you milk, if He gives you a little bit too much milk, what's going to happen is you're going to regurgitate it back up.
That's right. You're going to regurgitate it out.
And what people don't understand is that people want my gifts, and they see me doing all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, you want my gifts? Okay. All right. And then they see when I go through stuff, they be like, damn, I don't want to go do that. Okay,
What's
now
for
you
you
see.
is for you.
Exactly. What's for you is for you. And they don't want to get
Right.
it.
Because look, everybody cannot walk in your shoes. Okay.
Exactly.
Everybody cannot walk in your shoes, because the shoes that you're walking on was designed by God. He is directing your
Exactly.
footstep right now. That's what's going
Exactly.
on. So they can't walk in your shoes because your shoes are being directed by the Most High.
Exactly. And that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
law.
Direct shoes. So, baby, you can't walk in my shoes right now. These are blessed shoes. These are blessed shoes right here.
Yeah,
Everywhere I
damn right.
trample, the Lord said He gonna bless me.
That's right. And tell us about tell the people about the gumbo. Tell us about the gumbo.
The gumbo is a comedy. Is about weed, like we was talking earlier. It's
Yeah,
about
hey,
weed.
you know what I
You
mean?
know, to make that one a little short, that was just, oh my God. Just me being my creative mode, like you said earlier, being an artist,
Mm-hmm.
you're creative, right? So, being in my creative mode, I'm like, I want to do a comedy. So, of course I pray like, God, give me something. Give me a comedy. And I thought about that movie, Who Made the Potato Salad? Did you ever see that movie? Who Made the
Mm-hmm.
Potato Salad? Yeah, so I thought about that one. I said, well, they talk about potato salad. Well, I'm from the South. Let me do something about some gumbo. So I just came about, the whole idea of the comedy of the gumbo was just this young man, he goes to work on Friday, which I took a little piece from the movie Friday. He gets
Mm.
fired. He gets fired for giving beautiful ladies, some one he gave chicken, some shrimps or whatever. So the whole time he's giving away this food to all the gorgeous women that come and flirt with him, and he gets fired. So he gets fired, and his best friend has to pick him up because now his car doesn't start. He's stuck at work. So it's like, man, I know what we can do. We can help you get that gumbo ingredients for your mom, because the mom says, since you work at a meat market, I need you to get the Sunday ingredients for the gumbo. So did all that. Long story short, he got the ingredients from the guy Lenny that played on
Uh-huh.
Good Time. He opened it, had all the jewelry and stuff on it.
Uh-huh.
But in the gumbo, the guy opened his jacket up. He got all the seafood and all the ingredients for the gumbo.
Oh man.
you know. So he gets everything he needs, but not knowing the mom. You know how parents be. If you living with mom, we all in your room seeing what you got and all nosy and stuff. So he didn't hide his weed in his room because his mom always in his room. So he hid his weed in his mom in the herbs in the kitchen little thing. So he didn't know that she was gonna use his weed for the gumbo, because we mom be doing our gumbo. We're gonna put some little herbs or whatever. So she put his weed in the gumbo. So when everybody come over for the Sunday dinner to have the gumbo, everybody high. Everybody high.
Mm.
So he realized it when he gets back, he realized he comes in the house like, Then he goes to the thing and look and see if his weed was in there. He'd be like, my weed. It goes off right there because he realized they don't use up my weed. They all high off the weed with the gumbo.
I gotta watch that one. I gotta watch that
But
one, man. I gotta watch.
he went through hell to get the ingredients. Journey to get, like you said, is a journey. So in the movie, it's a journey for him to get the ingredients for the gumbo. But everybody is lit at the end because they got weed in the gumbo.
Okay, I got this. I got that one. So,
See,
Faith becomes her. What's with that one?
well, Faith Becomes Her is my inspirational film, and I did that project when I went to Berkeley Digital Film Institute. I got a scholarship from Laney College after I graduated in film and performance, my degree from Laney. I got a scholarship to go to Berkeley Digital Film Institute, which was an amazing school to attend. And I had to do a project in order to graduate or to move forward. But I did that one. And that's still, again, when you go before God and say, God, give me something. I need to be creative. And even in the midst of praying, like, give me a creative idea. And Faith Becomes Her was my second project. So, of course, that idea came to me. I'm like an inspirational film. And I did it because in this industry, and in this industry, if you're not careful, you will sell your soul in this industry, because they will offer you whatever they can sometimes. And at that time, I was more in the music industry, and a lot, you know, came to me, like even other females would talk to me and they'd be like, yeah, this guy said he would do this and that for me if I would sleep with him. Or this guy said, yeah, he'll put me on some shows. Oh, he'll get me a deal. You know what I'm saying? And some females in this industry fall for that. But at the end of the day, you get nothing. All they did was slept with you. You ain't got no deal. You didn't get no money. All they did was got you in bed and promised you something. So I wanted to put that film out there to young people in this industry to say, let your gift speak for yourself. All you got to do is have faith. Yes, it may take a long time because you're not selling your soul. And that's like selling yourself to the industry. If you are patient and you trust God and believe in your God-given talent, it may take a little longer, but you best believe it will happen. So just talking to women, and I, sometimes I like to do a little research and see how, people have experienced the music industry and the TV industry and all that. So Faith Becomes Her came from that part of the industry where I'm just saying you don't have to sell your soul nor your ass to get a deal or anything. Let your gift speak for itself. If you are talented and you believe in your gift, if the road will get a little rough and rugged. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy because I would be lying, to sell people dreams saying, yes, it's all easy to make in this industry. It's a journey. It's about you being persistent. It's about you being passionate and love what you do. And you believe in your gift. You got to believe. And when you do that, you will see God opening doors. Surely, for sure, you will see these doors opening. They will start opening. And you know that, my brother. You're an artist.
Hmm.
You have to go through a process with your comedy books, putting it out there, just making sure you on the right platform so people can see it, doing this show, doing whatever it is God has given you a gift to do. You see the journey, you see the process. So that's what Faith Becomes Her was all about.
Okay, okay.
So
Three.
I'll let you know my phone just it's got the going dead power. It's like I'm low on juice. We must have been here a long time, chit chat.
One. Oh, yeah.
And I did charge my phone before I came live. I made sure it was charging, but the enemy is still alive. We gonna do this.
You know, what's the what's that? Okay, three men and a laptop, part
Well, that's
one and
about
two.
online dating. That's a project I did when I was at Laney College. 3 minute faith, not excuse me, the sealed letter and 3 minute laptop is what I did at Laney College, and I was inspired by online dating. A lot of my friends that I knew they was doing an online dating thing. I've never done online dating, so I was like online dating. But some people had great experience. Some people don't got married, doing online dating. So I just wanted to tell the story about online dating. So one of my the professors at Laney College, she was like, you should do a movie about online dating because I'm dating 3 men online. I'm like, what, girl? You got 3 of them, huh? So she had 3 men she was dating online. So I kind of got the idea from her, and then talking to other people that do online dating. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna turn this into a comedy. 3 men and a laptop. That means you're dating 3 men online. You got this conversation going on. So it's a comedy too. It's a girl flick. It's a comedy talking about relationships. Trying to find Mr. Right and having, the Mr. Right in your life, because you can still be married and still having issues in your relationship and you're asking God to fix that. You can be single and praying for God to send you a man, or you can just be a manhunt agent, love them and leave them like some of you men do. Love and leave them.
That's
So
right.
it's about that, it's all those different components about women, just the relationship and women coming together, discussing, wanting that good relationship with a man and vice versa with men. You guys get together with you boys when y'all hanging out, watching sports or just chopping it up. You talk about what you want in a woman, dating and all that. Hey, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just, she was looking like, and they be like, what, man? Tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
3 minutes ago.
So we've talked about the sealed letter, and how about bullying? Bully the
Well,
bully.
still goes back to awareness. We definitely have, the online bullying. And I did that project when I volunteered with the summer after school program, and with Mother Gwen, may she rest in paradise. She passed away, but I volunteered with her organization to teach kids filmmaking during the summer. So the whole summer, I was teaching kids filmmaking. They came up with the idea of bully. So we brainstormed, taught the kids how to brainstorm, how to bring characters life, and all that great stuff. We put the project together, and I had another college students that was in school for filmmaking, because you want to be able to work with the young people and let them experience production and all that. So we worked together. We did it for, of course, for the young kids, and we brought Bully together, which brought about awareness when it talked about being bullied on cyberspace, at school, on the playground. I mean, you can even be bullied on the job, by co-workers trying to say, oh, you got to do this and this, or even your boss. And even in the home, your big brothers and sisters want to bully you. You know what I'm saying? So it's bullying in all shapes, form, and fashion. And so I just wanted to bring awareness, because even, when some kids just can't deal with the mental pressure of being bullied, and would cause suicide. Next thing you know, kids are killing themselves because they're being bullied. People are plastering negative things all over on social media, and that's a form of bullying as well. So sometimes, young people mentally sometimes is not equipped to handle all of that negativity, which causes suicide. So when we can understand what bullying is when it comes to young people and the pressure they deal with, then I think, they get a grip on the bullying situation, grip on that.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And we got through all that.
Yes, yes.
Through all
But you
that,
know
all of
what?
what I wanted.
The sealed letter, that was my first award-winning film, and I didn't really think that it was going to do as much. But that goes to show, when God has a plan for your life, He has a plan for your life, and sometimes you don't know how it's going to happen. But when I did that project, I was doing my intern at Peralta TV. Laney College have their own, well, all colleges have their own TV network and radio station, but I was doing my intern with Peralta College, and Jeff Heyman, who's over the television department, said, hey, for your intern, why don't you do a project for the TV station? I'm like, okay. So I teamed up with Taylor Wansley and another producer, totally forgot his name, my bad, at Laney College, and we did this project. Now, Laney College seen it as a student project because I was an intern, but let me tell you how big God did it. See, they seen it that way, but God took this project, and I started winning awards in film festivals. Not only awards in film festivals, I was asked to speak at different conferences, educational conferences at colleges. I was in San Diego speaking. They showed the film. I was speaking at San Diego College, and then I was in San Francisco speaking at that time. And that's just how big God will take something little and make it big, because He has a big vision. When you have like, oh, it's going to be, oh, a little student project. God said, no, you have no idea what I'm about to do. So that's how my career as a filmmaker got started, because God showed me something big. It started as a student project, and I've been going ever since, strong, winning awards in the film festival, being on other people's projects. God has just been blessing me, and it's been a struggle. It's been a journey, but I've been faithful because God showed me the bigger picture. I'm getting there. Like He said, you there. So I'm here. I'm here.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm just
You
waiting for my
know,
bank account to catch up with my gift.
I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, let me take us out. Let me take us out. I got another show, Yeah. But thank y'all. We had the lovely, 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 lovely time. Lovely, lovely time.
Yes.
And I am so happy to have you guys watching the show and interacting. And thank y'all. And hey, Kristen, I didn't forget you. Hey, Jermaine. Hey, Roscoe. Didn't
Everyone,
forget y'all.
I pray you
Yeah,
guys was inspired today. Don't die in your dream. Never stop. Keep going, because when you stop, the dream stop. When you keep going, you see the dream prospering.
exactly. And you know what? Keep the hope alive.
Oh
Keep hope
yes,
alive
definitely.
and keep dream alive.
There
Power
you
to
go.
the people. Yeah.
Don't die in your dream.
So, so
Yes.
peace and hair grease. But no, peace in a bottle of hair grease. Yeah.
That's some cool stuff right there. That's
Yeah,
not
that's right. That's right. I got a whole soul, so you know. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. You know, it's been a blast. We're about to get on to our next show, and
yes.
it's with Mr. Andre Batts. And I would love for you to watch the show, Miss Sandra Smith. And
Yes.
it's been
Hey,
a show,
Smith.
Miss A. Smith, and it's been a blast with Miss
Yes.
Sandra A. Smith, and with her inspirations and all her, all her journey. And
Yes.
thank y'all for watching.
Well, thank you so much for having me, my brother. I really appreciate you. You are truly a blessing. Keep doing what you do. God promised you something. If you are faithful to do what He said do, you will see the blessing. You already know that. It's already happening.
Hmm.
You
Uh
already see
huh.
that happening. Hmm.
That's right, ma'am. That's right. So sorry, but I got to take us out.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
next time. So we,
it's been the In Your Face
yes,
show.
in
Stay
your
tuned for the next
face.
show soon, and we out. Peace.